Hey everyone, it's Brandy and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be showing you guys all the books that I bought in August. So surprisingly, this is the shortest, not the shortest, is the smallest book haul that I have for this year so far. I have 8 books to show off to you guys. I do have like 3 more that I bought, but I bought them on like the last day of the month and they're going to be here sometime this week. So I'll just include those books in my September book haul. Also, I did buy books from Book Outlet. Those will be here also later this week, and I will be filming a separate unboxing for that one, and that one will be going up next week, I think next Friday. Anyway, like I'm saying, I have 8 books to show to you guys today, so this should be a pretty short haul. So let's just get into it. So the first book that I have to show you guys is one that actually appeared in my August wrap up, so I have read this one already, and that is Fence Volume 1 by C.S. Bacot. This is a comic book, as you guys can see, that is released by Boombox, and this is a comic about fencing. So we're following this character named Nicholas. He is the illegitimate son of a famous fencing champion. I'm not exactly sure all the reasons why, but he decides to get into fencing, and he ends up going to this competition and he loses to this guy on front, but then he ends up getting this opportunity to go try out to be on this fencing team on a scholarship at this school. So we're kind of getting an introduction into their story and what's going to happen between them. I have, like I said, I have already read this, thought it was really enjoyable so far, and I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes from there. The next 2 books that I have to show off to you guys, I picked both of these up at the dollar store that is near me. Both of these are part of series, but they only had these. They didn't have any of the other books in the series, but I still decided to pick them up because I thought I would be interested in them anyway. The first one of those that I have to show off is Elect by Rachel Van Dyken, and this is, I think, book 2 in the Eagle Elite series. The first book, I'm pretty sure, is Elite. I think this series is about this girl who goes off to a boarding school, and there are these guys that are the elite of the school, and unless you have permission or something crazy, you're not allowed to either interact with them or date them, or something crazy is going on. And she's new and she's not following these rules, and because of that she ends up getting into some type of trouble with like the students. But this is the second book. I have been sort of interested in that one. I saw the first book on Book Outlet a while ago, but I never did pick it up because I was just like, I don't know if it's something I would be interested in. But I saw this one, like I said, at the dollar store, so I was like, you know what, for $1 I pick it up. I probably will never see this again for $1, and I could just pick up the first book at some point to read it, you know, if I become interested. If not, then I'll just unhaul this and it won't be a big deal because it was $1. And the other book that I picked up from the dollar store was Seeds of Night by Shirley Kenyon, and this is a dark hunter novel. I know this is part of a really big series. I don't know what number book this is in the series, but I decided to pick this up because I know Lauren from the novel Lush and a couple other people are really into, people I know for sure, the people who read a lot of paranormal romance. Shirley Kenyon is one of those big authors that they read, and I recognize the series name because when I was getting recommendations for a paranormal series for a couple of people, this was one of the ones that they mentioned. So I had messaged Lauren on Twitter when I saw it. I was like, hey, should I pick this up? It's at the dollar store. And she was just like, yeah, get it. So I picked it up. It was a hardcover for $1. Like I said, it is, I think, a later book in the series, but I could just start my collection now and I could just pick them up as I go, I guess. I feel weird because I'm almost done with this book haul already. Moving on, the next book that I have is another paranormal romance book, I believe, or might just be a urban fantasy paranormal book. I'm not exactly sure. This one is Rosemary and Rue, which is the first book, I believe, in the October Day series by Shauna McGuire. This has something to do with fairies, and I believe the main character might be like half fairy. She is half human, half fae. It says that on the back of the book, and I remember that because it's like she doesn't fit in either world, but she lives in the human world because that's where she can kind of fit in the most, I believe. But something ends up calling her blood. Somebody gets killed, and she is kind of drawn back to the fairy world, and she has like some type of powers on her where she has to figure out why this certain person or whatever was killed. The next book that I picked up is A Duke by Default by Alyssa Cole. This is the second book in the Reluctant Royal series. The first is A Princess in Theory. This one follows Portia, which is Naledi from the A Princess in Theory. That this is her best friend, and I honestly really did not like her that much in that first book. She got a little better towards the end, but I have seen a few people have read this already, and I'm definitely looking forward to this one. It's on my TBR for September. We're in September now. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this one on my September TBR, but now I'm planning on buddy reading this one with Ashley from Bookish Realm. I think she's currently reading the first book, or as of me filming this, she said she was currently reading the first book. So I'm looking forward to getting to this one. She gets an apprenticeship with a struggling swordsmaker, but he ends up being like from some royal bloodline or something. So something happens there. Looking forward to reading this one. I'm just rambling now. The next book that I have was actually a gift sent to me by Melanie from Mel to the Any, which is her blog, and it is Finding Yvonne by Brandy Colbert. This is her most recent release. It came out, I believe, the first week of August. From what I know, this book follows this girl who is a violin player, and I believe she is starting to think about her future and what she wants to do as far as being a musician. But then she ends up getting pregnant, and she has to kind of rethink all of her plans and all of these things that are going on. I have seen or heard a couple people that have read this and really enjoyed it, so I'm looking forward to reading this one, which I believe is also on my September TBR. The next book that I have here is P.S. I Still Love You by Jenny Han. This is the second book in the To All the Boys I Loved Before series. I don't really have too much to say about this one. I'm sure everyone knows what this series is about by now. In the first book, Laura Jean has all these letters, or not all, she has 5 letters that she wrote to boys that she used to love before, and they end up getting sent out, and she's kind of dealing with everything, the fallout from all of these letters getting sent out. And I don't know what the second book is about. I'm not going to read the synopsis because I kind of just want to go into it and see what happens after following the first book. So yeah, I'm looking forward to checking this one out. And the last book, or I should say the last physical book that I picked up in August, which was a pre-order for me, was Stripped by Zoe Castile. And this is actually a pen name for Zoraida Cordova. She is starting her journey in the romance area, so this is going to be, I guess, her name for any of her romance novels. But anyway, this is the first book in the Happy Endings series, and this book is about a stripper and a school teacher, I believe, falling in love. So like I said, this was a pretty short book haul because those are all the books that I picked up in August, or at least the ones that I'm gonna have in this haul. That's all I have for you guys for this video. If you like to, give it a thumbs up, and if you would like to see more from